I came home at 2:17 a.m. to the sharp click of the door he'd just slammed. My laptop screen glowed empty, every client file gone, replaced by one mocking text file. "Catch up, Queen." My ex-boyfriend had used the password I trusted him with to delete my entire freelance world. He thought I'd break quietly. He was wrong. Before we continue, please subscribe to the channel and let us know where you're listening from in the comments. My name is Jasmine, I'm 27 years old, and this is what really happened. The door clicked shut behind Marcus at 2:17 a.m. sharp. Final. Like the last note in a trap beat that fades out too quick. My apartment in Midtown Atlanta still smelled like the burnt vanilla candle I'd lit earlier, trying to set a vibe for our talk. The city hum drifted through the cracked window, distant sirens, bass thumping from a car on Peachtree, the low buzz of streetlights turning everything orange. I dropped onto the couch, MacBook on my lap, ready to finish that last client deck before crashing. Screen woke up. Folder named Q4 Deliverables stared back empty. No PSD layers for the rebrand. No PDF contracts signed last week. No rendered MP4s for the social campaign. Just one new file, Catch Up Queen, text file, simple black letters on white. My stomach dropped like I'd missed a step on stairs. Fingertips hovered over the trackpad, cold sweat made them stick. I clicked it open anyway. Nothing else, no explanation, no apology, just that emoji crown mocking me. Heartbeat loud in my ears now, drowning the city noise. I refreshed the folder. Empty still. Searched trash. Nothing. Time machine? Backups from yesterday showed everything intact. Tonight's changes? Gone. Marcus had my password. He'd had it for months. "For emergencies," he'd said. Laughed when I changed it last month. Called me paranoid. Said he needed access, just in case. I trusted him. Dumb. Blind. The kind of trust you give when you're building something together. Or freelance graphic design was finally popping off. 3 steady clients, portfolio glowing, invoices paid on time. He was the coder boyfriend, always talking open source, get commits, building in public. We shared late nights, me on Photoshop, him on VS Code. Seemed perfect. Now perfect looked like sabotage. I sat frozen, screen glow lighting my face. Thumb found the screenshot key. CMD plus Shift plus 4, dragged over the mocking file, saved it to desktop. Another shot of the empty folder. Timestamp visible, metadata would show creation time. His fingerprints, digital ones, everywhere if I looked hard enough. Breath came shallow. Shock twisted into something colder, sharper. Not tears yet, fury building slow, like heat under skin. He thought this would break me. Thought I'd cry, beg, chase him down. Thought I'd stay quiet. He really thought I wouldn't notice. I closed the laptop, stood up, walked to the window. Midtown lights blurred below. Cars crawling like ants. Somewhere out there, Marcus probably slept easy, smug, victorious. He had no idea the storm he just invited. Keys jingled in my hand as I pushed through the lobby doors. The night air hit sharp. Cool February bite, mixed with exhaust from Peachtree traffic. I slid into my old Honda Civic, still parked crooked from when Marcus dropped me off earlier like everything was normal. Door slammed, engine turned over. Dashboard lights glowed blue against my face. I didn't drive yet. Just sat there gripping the wheel until my knuckles ached. Tears came then, hot, fast. Silent at first, then choking sobs that fogged the windshield. I pressed my forehead to the cool steering wheel and let it happen. 10 minutes, maybe 15, the kind of cry that leaves your chest hollow. When it slowed, I wiped my face with the sleeve of my hoodie. Salt stung my lips. Radio played low, some late-night trap mix on V103. I turned it off. Silence felt safer. Oh, Waffle House on Piedmont was 3 blocks away. Neon yellow sign buzzing like it always does at 3 a.m. I pulled in, parked under the brightest light pole. Inside smelled like hash browns sizzling in grease, coffee burning on the warmer, bleach from the mop bucket in the corner. Waitress, name tag said Keisha, didn't ask questions, just slid a menu and a glass of water with extra ice. I ordered scattered, smothered, covered, and a black coffee. Didn't plan to eat much. Just needed the bright lights and the clatter of plates to keep my head from spinning. Laptop open on the sticky table. I plugged in the charger. Fingers shaky on the keys. First move, check iCloud backups. Nothing synced since last week. Marcus had turned off automatic backups to save space months ago. I'd let it slide. Stupid. Next, local time machine on the external drive at home. Would have to wait till I got back. But I could start with disk utility. Ran first aid, no corruption, good. Then I opened terminal because panic makes you technical fast. Tmutil lists local snapshots. Snapshots from the last 3 days showed up. Heart jumped. I restored the most recent one to a new folder on desktop. Watched the progress bar crawl. Files trickled back. Client folders, layered PSDs, exported PNGs, even the Figma links I'd saved as PDFs. 80%, maybe more. The deck for the skincare brand was intact. The restaurant rebrand thumbnails too. Relief hit like cool water on fever skin. But the damage wasn't just files. Clients expect deliverables on deadline. One had already emailed at 1 a.m. Hey Jazz, where's the mock-up? Need to approve by morning for the investor deck. I hadn't replied yet. Another client, the boutique agency, paid half up front. If they pulled the contract over unprofessionalism, that was $3,000 gone. Plus referrals, plus reputation. Atlanta's creative scene is small. Word travels faster than a viral TikTok. Keisha refilled my coffee without asking. Rough night, huh? I managed a half smile. You have no idea. She nodded like she'd heard worse. Probably had. I stared at the recovered folder. Files back, but trust gone. Marcus didn't just delete work. He deleted momentum. The late nights grinding solo after my 9 to 5 got laid off last year. The HBCU alumni group chats where I posted whips and got real feedback. The small wins that finally made me believe I could go full-time freelance. He erased that in one lazy swipe. Phone buzzed. His name on the screen. You good? Simple text. No apology, no explanation. Just checking if I'd noticed yet. I stared at it until the screen dimmed. Didn't reply. Turned on Do Not Disturb instead. Coffee tasted bitter now, but the anger tasted cleaner, sharper. This wasn't about crying in a parking lot anymore. This wasn't about money either. This was about making sure he never felt safe touching what belonged to someone else again. Sun came up slow over Midtown, gray at first, then gold slicing through the blinds when I finally got home around 5:30 a.m. Apartment felt smaller now, quieter, like the walls remembered every word we'd said the night before. I dropped my keys on the counter, kicked off my sneakers, and went straight to the external drive plugged into the wall outlet. Black rectangular brick. My lifeline. Plugged the MacBook in, opened Migration Assistant just to be safe, but Time Machine was the real savior. Restored the missing night snapshot to a separate folder labeled recovered_021726. Watched files populate again. One by one. Client names reappeared like ghosts coming back. I exhaled hard through my nose. Still missing a couple of final exports, but the core work was there. Enough to rebuild and deliver late with an apology email I'd already drafted in my head. Next move wasn't recovery. It was reconnaissance. I pulled my phone over, opened messages, scrolled up through the thread with Marcus, hundreds of blue bubbles, searched for password. There it was, January 12th last year. He'd sent it after I locked myself out during a deadline crunch. Use this one, babe. It's secure, LOL. I never changed it after that. Dumb habit, trust habit. Kept scrolling, found screenshots he'd sent me of his own commits. Bragging. Just pushed a fix that'll make your site load 3x faster. Always positioning himself as the hero, then older messages, group chats he'd added me to, one Discord server, ATL devs and designers, he still lurked in. I logged in on my phone with a burner browser tab. His username, Marcus_codes. Green dot. Online now, 6:12 a.m. Who codes at dawn unless they're guilty and restless? I switched to my laptop. Created a new Gmail. jasmine.watch2026@gmail.com. No profile pic, no real name. Signed up for a throwaway Discord account with the same handle. Joined the server quietly. Muted notifications. Watched. His recent activity tab showed commits to public repos. One repo caught my eye. Portfolio site redesign. Last push, 4:02 a.m. tonight. Commit message, cleaned up some old messy code from X projects as so. Laugh cry emoji. My blood went cool. He wasn't even trying to hide it. Opened another tab, GitHub. Logged into my real account first, then incognito for his profile. MarcusDev404. 1.2k followers. Mostly bots and bootcamp grads he'd networked with at hackathons. Pinned repos looked impressive on the surface, but I knew his tricks. Forked someone else's boilerplate, changed colors, called it original. Bragged about it in our living room once. Everyone does it, Jazz. It's how you move fast. I opened terminal again. Git clone https://github.com. Into a new folder. Cloned clean, then git log. One line. Graph. Scrolled through commit history. Buried about 8 months back. Fixed her messy PSD imports LMAO. Another. Queen energy equals sign 0 organization skills. Petty. Time-stamped right after dates we'd argued. Digital receipts. Screenshots. CMD plus shift plus 4 on every one. Dated. Contextual. Proof he'd been in my files long before last night. Not a one-time rage delete. A pattern. Discord pinged on my phone. Server announcement. Someone posted a job board thread. Marcus replied first. I'm available for freelance React work. DM me. Speedy? Desperate maybe? Or cocky? I leaned back in the desk chair. Wood creaked under me. City noise filtered up again. Morning traffic. Garbage truck rattling cans below. My pulse settled into something steady. Methodical. I opened a blank notes app page. Titled it evidence_chain. Bullet points started flowing. Shared PW since January 2025. Access logs via time machine metadata. Need export. Commit messages mocking my work. Discord lurks plus recent activity. Deletion timestamp matches our last fight. Last bullet. Create anonymous reporting chain. I hit return twice. Typed one more line. He built his whole brand on being the helpful dev boyfriend. Time to make that brand toxic. Coffee mug warmed my palms as I sat at the desk, steam curling up like smoke signals. Fingers wrapped tight around ceramic, smooth, hot, grounding. I needed that touch. Something real amid the digital mess. The mug was from a Buckhead brunch spot, chipped on the rim from too many dishwasher runs. Reminded me of simpler mornings. First, metadata, opened Finder. Right-clicked the recovered files, get info. Creation dates matched our shared evenings. Modified timestamps, some flipped to last night, 2:01 a.m. right after he stormed out. His hands on my keyboard, his fingers deleting my future. I exported the metadata to a CSV using exif tool in terminal. Exif tools CSV, a recovered _021726 metadata _export.csv. Rows upon rows, timestamps like fingerprints, undeniable, cross-referenced next. His GitHub commit from 4:02 a.m. Message. Cleaned up some old messy code from X projects. I pulled the repo again, dug into the code. Lines he'd fixed looked familiar, snippets from my client site's backend he'd helped with months ago. Stolen, repurposed. His push time overlapped my deletion window. Coincidence? No. Pattern. Open Twitter. Now X, incognito. His handle. At Marcus_codes 404. Recent tweet? Just optimized a sloppy design integration. Devs, always clean up after your collabs. Posted at 5:15 a.m. subtweet aimed at me. Fingers itched on the trackpad. Smooth glass under my thumb. I resisted replying. Screenshot instead. Added to evidence_chain note. Timestamp matched. Deeper. Freelance sites. Upwork first. Logged in anonymously via the new Gmail. Searched his profile. Gigs. Full stack dev for creative projects. reviews glowing, mostly from mutuals we'd networked with at Ponce City Market meetups. But one gig description mirrored my skincare client's app needs. Word for word from the brief I'd shared with him over dinner at Mary Mac's tea room. Fried chicken grease on napkins, me sketching wireframes, him nodding, stealing. I clicked report. Selected intellectual property violation. Attached anonymized screenshots. My original brief, redacted client name, his gig post. This user has appropriated project details without permission. Hit submit. Fingers press the button firm. No hesitation. Report ID generated, UPW 202602170945. Copied it, pasted into my notes. Fiverr next, same drill. His profile there too. Gig. Fix your messy code in 24 hours. Tagline. Just cleaned up her messy project files for her. Your turn. Direct quote from his commit message. Brazen. I reported again. Harassment and IP theft. Attached commit screenshot, blurred my identifiers. Report confirmed, FVR RPT 2026-0217-1123. Toptal was trickier. Invite only. But he'd bragged about getting in last fall. I knew his username from shared emails. Created a burner client account. Flagged his profile subtly through their trust form. Potential lead theft, evidence attached. Sent metadata CSV snippet, his tweet, the gig matches, fingers typed steady, no shake, Toptal's system auto-acknowledged, case, #TTL 260217003. Leads he'd stolen, remembered one, the boutique agency. I'd pitched them via email last month, CC'd him for advice. Week later, they went silent. Now his Upwork history showed a completed job matching their scope. Coincidence again? No. Added that to reports. Chair leather stuck to my thighs as I shifted. Warm from hours sitting. Skin prickled with focus sweat. Phone buzzed. Client email. The skincare one. Mock-up looks great, Jazz. Approving now. One win, but small. Replied quick. Thanks. Had a tech glitch, but all good. Evidence underscore chain grew. Bullets branched into sub-bullets. Links. IDs. A web building quiet. Invisible for now. He posted another tweet mid-morning. Grinding on new gigs. Who needs drama? Emoji strong arm. My fingers curled tighter on the mug. Cooling now. But the plan warmed me inside. These reports were seeds. Water them right, they'd grow into something that choked his whole garden. Afternoon light slanted through the blinds, striping the hardwood floor in warm gold bars. My phone buzzed on the desk, sharp vibration against wood. Skincare client again. Files look perfect now. Sending final payment plus bonus for the quick turnaround. Sorry about the delay on my end. I stared at the words. Relief washed over me slow, like cool water down my back after standing too long in the sun. Fingers tapped out a quick reply. No worries at all. Glad you're happy. Excited to see the launch. Hit send. One anchor resecured. Checked Upwork next. The anonymous report status updated. Action taken. Account restricted from bidding on graphics/design adjacent projects for 90 days. Not a full ban, but enough to kneecap his crossover gigs. He'd been fishing in my lane lately. Now the water was shallower. I leaned back, a chair sighing under me. Small victory tasted sweet, sharp, like the first bite of peach cobbler at a family cookout. Fiverr email landed minutes later. Your report has been reviewed. The seller's gig matching the reported content has been removed. Repeat violations may result in account suspension. Screenshot. Added to the chain. Toptal's automated reply came through too. Case under review. Preliminary hold placed on profile visibility pending investigation. Not dramatic yet, but the domino leaned. I stood up, stretched, legs stiff from hours at the desk. Walked to the kitchen, poured fresh water into a glass. Ice clinked against the sides, crisp, clean sound. Drank slow. Watched traffic crawl below on 10th Street. Normal Tuesday. People heading to meetings, lunch runs, life moving. Mine had paused, then pivoted. Hard. X notification popped on my phone. Marcus, new tweet. Some people stay pressed. Meanwhile, I'm stacking checks and keeping it moving. Haters stay losing. Attached a screenshot of his PayPal balance. Blurred amount, but the green bars screamed flex. Posted 17 minutes ago. Likes climbing slow. Comments from his boys. They make 'cause you winning, bro. Keep shining king. I didn't flinch. Just opened a new tab, searched his handle plus paranoid. Nothing direct yet. But the tone shift was there. Defensive, loud. He felt the pressure even if he didn't know the source. Another client pinged. Restaurant rebrand. Hey Jazz, got your recovery explanation email. Appreciate the transparency. Moving forward with round 2 revisions. Second win. I exhaled through my mouth. Chest loosened a fraction. Momentum shifting back my way. But I kept building. Quiet moves. Opened LinkedIn incognito. His profile still showed open to work banner, recent activity, reposting job listings, commenting on dev conference threads, always leveling up. I noted the companies he tagged, potential recruiters, saved links, not for today, for later, back to Discord, ATL dev server. He'd posted in #freelance, React/Next.js specialist here, portfolio and bio, serious inquiries only. 3 DMs already in his public activity log. People biting. Fast. I switched to my burner account. Watched. Didn't engage. Just observed the web tightening. Evening rolled in. Sky turned lavender over the skyline. I lit the same vanilla candle from last night. Flame steady now. No shake in my hand when I struck the match. Sat back down. Checked reports one more time. Upwork restrictions still active. Fiverr gig gone. Toptal on hold. Phone lit up again. His name. Text this time. Yo, you see my tweet? LOL people wild. No context. Testing waters, seeing if I'd bite. I read it twice, then locked the screen. Face down on the desk, wood cool against the glass. He was starting to sweat, paranoia creeping in, tweets getting louder to cover the cracks. Good. Let him talk himself into a corner. I opened my own portfolio site draft. New section, recent client wins. Added the skincare logo mock-up, blurred for privacy. Caption, delivered under pressure. Results don't lie. Hit publish. The game wasn't over, but the board was tilting. My direction now. Night settled heavy over the apartment. Streetlights cast long yellow rectangles across the living room floor. I kept the overhead off, only the desk lamp on, warm circle of light pooling over my keyboard. Fingers moved deliberate now. No rush, no panic, just precision. I opened the cloned repo folder again. Git log. Author Marcus. Pretty equal sign format. %H% add %S. Date equal sign short. Filtered his commits. Dozens, scattered over months. But the mocking ones clustered around our rough patches. Her messy PSD imports fixed LMAO. Dated right after I'd cried about a missed deadline. Queen thinks she's Picasso, but code says otherwise. Buried in a branch he never merged. Petty, documented, timestamped. Screenshots piled up in a folder named commit_harass. Blurred my personal details. Highlighted his words in red using preview. Clean, professional, ready for eyes that mattered. Discord next. ATL dev server. I scrolled his message history under the burner account. Old threads. He'd vented in #general chat once. Some exes stayed dramatic over nothing. Just helped clean her files and she flipped. Attached a laughing emoji. Another user replied, "Bro, you good?" He'd hearted it. Proof of pattern. I screenshotted the thread. Full context visible. Dates lined up with our fights. Deeper dive. Private DMs from months back. One stood out. He'd messaged a mutual friend in the server. Jazz left her laptop open again. Fixed her mess for free. Ungrateful AF. The friend had replied, "Damn, that's wild." Marcus. She'll thank me later. I hadn't been in that convo, but the server logs saved everything. Exported the thread via Discord's data request tool under my real account. Took 24 hours to arrive, but I'd requested it days ago just in case. Zip file downloaded this morning, messages intact. Then the breakthrough. Another X. Her name popped in a group DM Marcus had added me to last summer, Black Creatives ATL. She'd left abruptly after he started dating me. I remembered her handle, at Leah Draws, quiet type. Always posted fire illustrations. I DM'd her from my real account first. Simple. Hey Leah, random question. Did Marcus ever mess with your files or projects when y'all were together? No accusation. Just open. She replied in under 10 minutes. Girl, yes. Deleted a whole Adobe folder once. Said it was an accident. Then bragged about affixing my mess in his stories. I never confronted him. Moved on. Why? I sent her the commit screenshots, the mocking messages, the deletion timestamp. She went quiet for 20. Then, this is the same energy. I have old DMs where he admitted accessing my drive to help. Want them? Yes, anonymized if you want, but timestamps help. She forwarded 3 threads. Clear admissions. I used your password to grab that file you were stressing over. Fixed your layers. Don't worry. Her replies? Upset. Him. Dismissive. Pattern confirmed. 2 women. Same playbook. We coordinated quietly. She agreed to co-report if needed. Shared Google Drive folder setup, password protected, evidence centralized. No direct contact between us and him. Clean chain, GitHub time, main event. Logged into my real account. Went to his profile. Selected the portfolio site redesign repo. Clicked report abuse, category, harassment. Description box. This user has repeatedly accessed and mocked an ex-partner's private project files without consent. Commit messages contain targeted harassment language, screenshots attached. Pattern of behavior confirmed by multiple individuals. Request review under GitHub's harassment and doxing policies. Attached. Commit message screenshots. Metadata showing access timestamps. Blurred Discord threads. Leah's anonymized DM excerpts. With her permission, hit submit. Report ID GH. Didn't stop there. Mass reporting. Created 3 more burner GitHub accounts. Different emails, VPN IPs. Each reported the same repo under slightly varied angles. IP violation, stolen snippets from my work, harassment, TOS breach via commit logs, different wording, different attachments. Flooded the queue just enough to force escalation. Closed the tabs, leaned back. Chair leather warm against my spine now. Candle flame danced low, vanilla scent faint but steady. Weeks of silence ahead, but the hammer was swinging. Invisible, inevitable. He'd feel it soon, and when he did, he wouldn't see me coming. Weeks slipped by quiet. Too quiet. February bled into March, then early April. Atlanta bloomed, dogwoods pink and white along the beltline, pollen dusting every car windshield yellow. I kept the windows cracked to let the warm air in. It carried the faint, sweet smell of blooming jasmine from the courtyard below. Comforting. Steady. I didn't check his profiles every hour anymore. Once a day, sometimes every other. Discipline. His X feed stayed loud. More motivational quotes, gym mirror selfies, reposts of grind set threads. No distractions, just elevation. Cut the dead weight, watch the bag grow. Subtle jabs wrapped in self-help packaging. I screenshotted them anyway. Added to the archive folder now labeled Timeline. Dates noted. Context logged. Building the long game. Portfolio site launch went live first week of March. Clean. Some minimal. Black background, gold accents. Nod to my sorority colors without screaming it. New client section stacked. Skincare launch assets. Restaurant rebrand rollout. Even a quick side project for a local podcast cover art. Traffic ticked up. DMs from old HBCU classmates. Girl, this is fire. Proud of you. Referrals started trickling. One turned into a 3-month retainer. Steady money, real security. Hit a few Atlanta tech meetups too. Ponce City Market rooftop one Thursday evening. String lights, craft beer in plastic cups, developers and designers mingling under the skyline. I wore the black blazer with the subtle shoulder pads, gold hoops, fresh silk press, networked easy, handed out digital business cards via airdrop, collected a few. One woman from a mid-size agency asked for my rate sheet on the spot. "We need consistent design support. You available?" I smiled. Always open to good fits. Contract signed 2 days later. Marcus kept posting. "Fake it till you make it" energy. New client onboarding. React plus Tailwind stack. Let's build. Attached a generic code snippet screenshot. No repo link. No live site. I noticed the pattern. Less substance, more flex. Paranoia leaking through the cracks. Upwork restriction lifted end of March. He posted about it. "Back in the game. Haters tried but couldn't stop the come up." Laughing emojis. I didn't react, just watched. GitHub silence stretched longest. No public suspension notice. No tweet meltdown. Just nothing. His contribution graph flatlined after February 18th. No new pushes, no stars, no forks. Profile still up. But the activity feed? Ghost town. I rebuilt in the quiet spaces he left empty. New desk setup, dual monitors, ergonomic chair from Target on sale, plant on the corner shelf because my mama always said green keeps the energy right. Sunday dinners at her house in East Point became ritual again. Fried okra, baked macaroni, her asking gentle questions. "You dating anybody new?" Me laughing soft. "Not yet, Ma. Focusing on me." She'd squeeze my hand. Good. That's where the real bag is. One evening I sat on the balcony. Small iron table, 2 chairs, city lights flickering below. Sipped herbal tea from the chipped mug, vanilla candle burning low inside. Phone on Do Not Disturb. No texts from him in weeks. No bait, no "you good?" probes. He'd gone radio silent on me directly, smart or scared. I opened LinkedIn. His profile still showed freelance full-stack developer vertical bar open to opportunities. But the activity tab? Sparse. Saw last post, a repost of a job fair announcement from 3 weeks back. No comments, no likes from recruiters. I closed the tab, leaned back. Breeze lifted the edges of my robe. Skin warm from the day's sun still lingering. The waiting wasn't passive anymore. It felt active, like planting seeds in spring soil and knowing rain's coming. He was flexing online to convince himself. But the checks weren't clearing the same. The DMs weren't flooding. The green dots on Discord went gray more often. The board had tilted further. Gravity doing its job. I just had to stay patient and keep the receipts warm. April heat crept in early. Windows stayed open most nights now, letting the hum of cicadas mix with distant MARTA trains. I kept the fan on low, steady white noise that drowned out overthinking. My calendar filled faster. Client calls, mood board reviews, a guest spot on a local podcast talking freelance survival. Money stacked quieter, bills paid ahead, savings account finally showing commas again. His cracks showed first on LinkedIn. I checked once a week now, habit more than obsession. Profile still listed, freelance full stack developer, but the banner changed. Actively seeking full-time roles, open to relocation. No more open to work badge screaming desperation. Just a subtle shift. Activity dried up further. Last interaction, a heart react on someone else's post about imposter syndrome. No original content in 23 days. Then the contract loss became public. X-thread popped up in my feed. Algorithm knew I'd lingered on his profile before. A recruiter I followed reposted, had to pass on a strong React candidate after GitHub audit flagged multiple policy violations. Transparency matters. #dev hiring, no names. But the timestamp lined up. 2 days after my mass reports. Comments speculated, was it the harassment flags? Seen this before. Pattern reports kill trust fast. Marcus replied under it, defensive. Some people weaponize reports. Stay grinding regardless. Like slow, replies mostly from his inner circle. The rest scrolled past. I screenshotted the exchange. Added to timeline folder. Date stamped. No gloating yet. Just observation. Phone buzzed late one evening. His name again? Text this time. Longer than before. Jazz, can we talk? Not trying to argue. Just need to clear the air. I know things got messy. Miss hearing your voice. I read it twice. Thumb hovered over the keyboard. Then I locked the screen. Face down on the nightstand. Would cool against the glass back. No reply. No dots. No read receipt turned on. Ghosted clean. Next morning, another text. I get it if you're still mad, but I'm going through it RN. Lost a big gig. Recruiters ghosting. Feels targeted. You know anything about this? I stared at the words. Let them sit. Then deleted the thread, blocked the number. Not out of fear, out of finality. He wanted absolution. Wanted me to fix his mess. Wanted the same dynamic where I carried his weight. Not happening. Upwork sent an update email. His account now fully restricted from new bids. Permanent for repeated TOS violations involving harassment and IP misuse. Fiverr followed. Seller account suspended pending final review. Toptel's case closed with a polite profile removed from Marketplace. GitHub stayed the silent killer. No dramatic ban announcement. Just restricted. Contribution access revoked. Sponsors page blank. Verified status gone. Profile still visible. Frozen in time. Last green square on the graph, February 17th. The day he deleted my files. I walked to the kitchen, poured water, ice cracked against glass, drank slow, looked out at the skyline. Lights twinkling like distant stars. City kept moving. So did I. He was cracking wider now, publicly. The flex post stopped. Replaced by vague mental health check-in stories on Instagram. Blurry gym mirror shots with captions like, "One day at a time." Comments sympathetic but sparse. His network thinning. People distance themselves from smoke. I didn't celebrate, didn't post, didn't tell a soul outside Leah, and even that was minimal. "He's feeling it," she texted once. "Good." I replied with a single thumbs up emoji. The hammer had fallen, not with noise, with absence. With doors closing, he couldn't see who turned the locks, and I was already 3 steps down a new hallway. May arrived with sudden storms. Thunder rolled low over Midtown most afternoons, rain hammering the balcony railing in sharp bursts. I kept a towel by the sliding door to wipe the tracks when water snuck in. The apartment smelled like wet concrete and the lavender diffuser I ran on loop. Calm, controlled. GitHub dropped the final notice on a Tuesday. Email landed at 10:47 a.m. Subject: account restriction update. Permanent limitations applied. I opened it standing in the kitchen, coffee halfway to my lips. Body text clinical. After thorough review of multiple reports, including evidence of targeted harassment, unauthorized access patterns, and policy-violating content in commit histories, your GitHub account has been permanently restricted from the following: creating or contributing to repositories, sponsoring or receiving sponsorships, participating in discussions or issues, and maintaining verified contributor status. This action is non-appealable due to confirmed pattern of abuse involving multiple individuals. Your public profile remains viewable, but frozen. I set the mug down. Ceramic clicked soft against the counter. No explosion of feeling, just a slow exhale that felt like releasing breath I'd held since February. The graph was dead. No more green squares. Ever. His spiral went public fast after that. X thread appeared 3 days later. Thread starter, his handle, pinned now. Real talk, lost my main income stream overnight. GitHub nuked me. Recruiters won't touch me. Feels like someone orchestrated this. If I hurt anybody, I'm sorry, but this is career ending. Need advice or leads? Serious replies only. Replies mixed. AM some sympathetic. That's rough, bro, keep your head up. Others colder. What did you do to get pattern flagged? That's not random. A few mutuals from ATL dev server quote tweeted, heard rumors about X drama, hope it wasn't that. Likes on the defensive ones dropped quick. Algorithm buried the thread. Views stalled under 2K. Instagram stories shifted tone. Blurry selfies in dim lighting. Captions like, sometimes the people you trust hurt you the most. Learning who's real. No direct tags. but the subtext screamed. Leah texted me a screenshot. He's fishing for pity now. Pathetic. I didn't save it. Didn't need to. The archive was complete. Freelance platforms finalized their bans. Upwork email, permanent suspension for repeated violations. Fiverr, account terminated. No reinstatement. Toptal sent a brief confirmation. Removal upheld. Each one landed like another lock clicking shut. I watched from afar. No gloating posts, no subtweets. Just kept working. New client onboarded, a wellness brand out of Decatur. Needed full visual identity, paid deposit upfront. I sketched concepts at a coffee shop on Edgewood, sunlight spilling over my iPad. Noise around me. Barista calling orders, indie playlist humming, laptops clicking, life moving forward. His LinkedIn updated last, banner gone, headline changed to former freelance developer vertical bar exploring new paths. Activity? 1 post. Grateful for the lessons, open to conversations about growth and second chances in tech. 47 likes. Mostly family and old high school friends. No industry names, no recruiters. Phone stayed quiet. No more texts. No blocked number workarounds. He'd vanished from my notifications the way I'd made him vanish from dev circles. I stood on the balcony one evening. Rain had stopped, air thick with petrichor. City lights reflected wet on the streets below. I leaned on the railing, metal cool under my forearms, looked out at the skyline, towers glowing, traffic flowing steady. The hammer hadn't just fallen, it had buried itself deep. No coming back from a permanent GitHub restriction in this industry. Not when trust and safety linked it to harassment patterns. Not when 2 women's receipts lined up perfect. He'd wake up every morning knowing the door he slammed on me had locked him out of his own future. And I slept better for it. Summer found Atlanta in full swing. Humidity thick enough to wear, cicadas screaming from every tree, sun setting late and slow behind the towers. I moved through it lighter. Shoulders down, steps sure. The new retainer client turned into 2. Wellness brand expanded scope, now handling their entire seasonal campaign. Another agency reached out after I spoke on a panel at the Women in Tech Mixer downtown. Topic: building resilience in creative freelance. I stood at the podium in a tailored blazer, gold chain layered over crisp white shirt, hair in loose curls. Room full of black women nodding, taking notes, asking sharp questions after. One pulled me aside afterward. Your story hit different. We need someone like you on retainer. Contract signed the next week, 6 figures annualized if it held. It would. I kept the balcony ritual. Early evenings, herbal tea steaming in the chipped mug, city sprawling below like it belonged to me now. No more vanilla candles, switched to eucalyptus. Cleaner scent, sharper, matched the new energy. LinkedIn pinged one humid July night. Notification. His name in the activity feed. Last post in months. Grateful for the journey so far. Tech industry is tough, but I'm learning. Open to entry-level roles, support positions, anything to get back in. Second chances mean a lot. DM's open. Attached a selfie, him in a plain gray tee, forced half smile, background a bare apartment wall. No code on screen, no laptop, no flex, just quiet begging dressed as reflection. Likes, 12. Comments, mostly generic praying for you bro from distant cousins. No recruiters, no offers, no path forward. I scrolled once, read the caption twice. Felt nothing sharp, no triumph spike, just a calm, even quiet. The same quiet I'd built in the months since February. I closed the app, set the phone face down on the iron table, metal still warm from the day, sipped the tea. Steam rose soft against my face. Breeze lifted the edges of my linen shorts. Sky turned deep indigo, first stars punching through. He'd touched what wasn't his. Deleted months of my grind, mocked it in commits only he thought were private, bragged about cleaning up like I was the mess. Thought I'd fold, cry, beg, stay broken. Instead, I documented, reported, waited, let systems do what people sometimes can't. Enforce consequences without noise, GitHub didn't forgive patterns. Platforms didn't reinstate repeat violators. Recruiters didn't risk hires with red flags and trust and safety logs. He built his house on access he never earned. When the foundation cracked, the whole thing folded. Now he begged in public for scraps. And I sat here, portfolio stronger, clients loyal, network growing, bank account steady, sipping tea on a balcony I paid for myself. Should have never touched what wasn't yours. I smiled small, not cruel, just certain. Then I stood, walked inside, closed the sliding door against the night. The city kept moving below. So did I. If this story struck a chord, hit like, subscribe, and tell me what you think in the comments.